Today on Judge Faith, this family feud over unpaid rent escalated into a ferocious fistfight.
Not tonight. What the did you say?
Before someone is forced to call the cops, the cousins have come to court.
She shouldn't have said what she said. Or she should have boo-bopped her. She would have been on camera
Thank
whooping
you.
ass.
She threatened me first. As soon as she walked by, she threatened me.
Now Judge Faith will put an end to their bitter battle.
That's how people like Juan end up coming to a house like yours because somebody's been stabbed, somebody's been shot over what? Over a Samsung phone?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Shinwa Hemphill says she was warned her cousin was trouble, but she allowed her to move in anyway. She's suing for unpaid rent and a cell phone. She's accompanied by John Lanier. Defendant Cece Lanier says she doesn't owe any money because Shinwa was jealous of her relationship and kicked her out of the apartment. She is accompanied by Martinez Penn.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Hemphill versus Lanier.
Thank you, Juan. Shinwa Hemphill.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant, Cece Lanier, for $2,100, the cost of a Samsung cell phone and unpaid rent.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $500 for emotional distress.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll start with you, Ms. Hemphill. Tell me what's going on here. How do you know the defendant?
I know the defendant. She's my cousin. We haven't always been close. Her mom kind of kept her away from our side of the family, but every now and then we would hook up and get together. We met up once. We got matching tattoos to show our bond or whatever. She fell on some hard times in May of 2014. I guess she got into it with her mom. She texted me one night, which was random because we didn't communicate that much, and she said that she needed somewhere to stay. So I told her that she could come stay at my house. So I picked her up. I had an extra room in the house, and she previously mentioned to me, hey, you know, is it possible that I can move into your room, into the other bedroom? The rent is $975, and she was agreed to pay $450.
Was she working at the time?
She was when she first moved in, but for 1 week. She lost her job after the first week of living there.
Okay, so she agreed to pay half of the rent, $450. And did you put anything in writing about that?
No,
Okay.
well, text messages, but at the time she has a different...
Did you agree to pay $450 a month?
Yes.
Okay.
As soon as she moved in, she lost her job. So $450 is out the window. It leaves it all back on me, so I have her there, but still all rent is on me. But I didn't feel comfortable like putting her out on the street. Like I wasn't gonna do that. And she was trying to find a job. So it's different. It would have been different if she was just lounging around the house and not doing it. She was actually looking, so I couldn't fault her for not finding one, not being able to find one. So I said, okay, I'll work with her.
Okay.
So I paid the rent for May, June, July, and August. I lost my job in July. So even though I wasn't working, I was still paying the rent for those months. My mom helped her get financial aid. She was supposed to go to school. When it came to, like, she wasn't gonna be able to find a job, my mom was like, hey, why don't you go to school, get financial aid? That'll at least help, my mom refers to me as Big, that'll help Big with the rent and you'll be doing something. Mm-hmm. She enrolled in school. We got her hooked up with financial aid. She never went to school. She got her first check and never went to school.
Is that true?
Kind of.
What
when
happened?
I started working,
What happened?
well, I worked
All of her
9:30 to
classes
So
were online.
May, June.
So, no, they weren't.
All of her
So-
classes were online.
No, they weren't.
Okay, hold on a second. You move in May, June, July, August, you're not working, right?
No, I started in August.
Okay, so tell me what happened. So you didn't pay June or July rent, I
Correct.
assume.
Or August
now,
either.
August, the whole rent was paid by my financial aid check.
That's a lie.
But you didn't pay June or July?
Correct.
And you never paid that?
Correct.
Okay, and then you got your financial aid check and you gave her how much, you say?
The whole $975.
$975 to pay the full amount of August rent? Okay, and what happened with school?
Well, I just stopped going.
So you say she paid the $975
That's
in rent.
correct.
What happens?
During that time, like, there were several little incidents that kept occurring. Take, for instance, we had two vehicles. My fiance wasn't around. I would allow her to drive his car if she needed to run errands, or if I was at work and it was like time to drop the rent off at the rental agency. She didn't know I got home from work. I left work early one day. I roll up down the street passing the rental agency, she's at the gas station with a chick in the car. Did you have to go pick somebody up to go drop off the rent? So she's basically riding around in my fiance's car with a girl. During that time when my fiance first was incarcerated, I was uncomfortable being in the house by myself, and I didn't want to hear strange noises and wonder what it was, so I was sleeping in the living room on the couch. I wouldn't sleep in my bedroom. So when she came to stay with me, instead of having her sleep on a couch in the studio, I said, go ahead, you can have my bedroom. You could just sleep in my bedroom. Well, that became very comfortable for her because when she started having company, they were sleeping in my bedroom. I later found out that she had been going through my drawers, taking things out of my drawers, having a text message where she admits and says, nobody's been in your room since this time or whatever. Well, during that time, a pair of my fiance's earrings came up missing, a pair of $2,500 diamond earrings, gone.
I read your complaint. You say that she took them, but what evidence do you have of that? Did you take the earrings?
No.
Okay, so what evidence do you have
I'm not saying that she took them. She had her girlfriend in the room. If she didn't take them, she let somebody else take them, or she gave them away not knowing the value of the earrings.
Okay, are these the earrings?
Those are the earrings.
Miss Lanier, have you seen those earrings?
That's the first time I've seen them earrings.
That's a lie.
You've never seen those earrings before?
No.
Your Honor, she saw the earrings because as soon as they came up missing, I showed her a picture and said, you don't know about these? So these just walked out of my underwear drawer. They were there for 3 months before you got here.
Coming up on Judge Faith, a stolen ATM card and fist fights. Can anything keep these family bonds from breaking forever?
I called her brother because I'm like, I'm about to go ham. Like I'm about to bust a nutty. Like I need you to come over here and watch me because I'm about to put her out.
Plaintiff Shinwa Hemphill says Cece was constantly stealing from her, and she had no choice but to have her younger cousin move out. She's suing for unpaid rent and a cell phone. Defendant Cece Lanier says she paid her cousin money to live in the apartment, even though she had been previously told there would be no charge for rent.
What happens when you say, stand up, ma'am. What's your name?
Marnea.
Marnea. Okay, and what's your relation to the defendant?
This is my girlfriend.
Okay. I'm just trying to get to the point because I know that you say you put her out or something happened. Mm-hmm. What happened?
A bunch of stuff started happening. It just started piling up. Once I woke up in the morning. She used to know my PIN number because when I would have her run errands or whatever, she knew my PIN number. I woke up one morning and I have a bank app like the majority of people on my phone. So I checked my app and I'm like, dang, I'm short $40. Wasn't a big deal, but I'm like, where to go? So I called the bank and I'm like, hey, what time did this transaction take place? 8:01 and 8:02. I didn't get up till 10:45 that morning. Guess who leaves for work at 8:20? So that was one incident. I asked her about it. Did you take the money? No, I don't know what you're talking about. I left at this time. Your Honor, the only two people in the house were she and I. So that's a second incident of stealing.
Did you use her ATM bank card?
If rent is what, $450, and I give you $500, why aren't you giving me that $50 back? So because you didn't give it back, I took it on my own.
Okay, so I would like for you to answer the question. Okay, so because you thought she owed you money, you took her bank card and you took the money out of her account yourself.
Yep.
You know that's theft, right?
But then if $450 is rent, I'm giving you $500, where's my money?
And you think the solution to that is to go and get her bank card and go to the ATM and take it out yourself? I'm telling you, it's theft.
Okay.
You can think that it's okay to resort to self-help, but you will be thinking that spending 30 days in jail for petty larceny. It's theft.
The only reason I didn't call the police, Your Honor, was because of my mother. My mother asked me not to. I even used that as a threat to her. I was like, I said, call her and tell her if she doesn't tell me or admit it, I'm gonna call the police.
You say that she moves her girlfriend in at some point. What
Absolutely.
happens?
She committed a crime or whatever, got caught, went to jail. She gets out of jail. She runs to the rescue and goes to pick her up Thanksgiving Day and brings her to the house. Now, I don't mind, she pays rent. She can have company. That's not for me to say. She's like the fourth girl that she's brought over since she's lived there.
Did she move her in or did she just bring her over to visit?
She brought her over to visit and she never left. 2 weeks later, I sent her a text message right here that said, hey, what's going on? She's still here.
Is that true?
Yes, and then she also went on to say, we have to talk. So I drop her off at her family's house, I go to talk. She then tells me, you know what, I have no problem with her being here, but she has to chip in. So come January, I give her $720, and on January 13th, she kicks us out.
You absolutely right.
Okay, so when do you get out of jail and come to their home?
It was November.
November 2014.
Yes.
You move in.
Yes.
You don't leave until she kicks you out in January.
So in January, I wrote them a letter because it was just over the top. I was just done. I wrote them a letter, a 4-page letter, letting them know that things had to change around the house. Like, I'm not gonna clean up after you. You guys need to start buying tissue, like that kind of thing. Things you do when you live in a household. So I put the letter on the door. She takes the letter off. I text her and say, hey, did you review it or whatever? And she says, yes, and you don't have to worry about her, NG, because she says she's not gonna be here much longer. I go to Facebook, and she's posted on Facebook basically a subliminal message to me that says, misery loves company. I won't let nobody stop my shine. I'm moving up, whatever. Basically mocking what I said.
Did you write that on Facebook?
Yeah.
What were you talking about her?
No.
Okay, but you assume it's about you. Maybe it was, I don't know.
She got the letter. I called her brother because I'm like, I'm about to go ham. Like, I'm about to bust a nutty. Like, I need you to come over here and watch me because I'm about to put her out.
You commented on the Facebook post. What did you write?
I wrote, since you don't like it like that, like misery loves company and that's how you feel, you can take that bum with you and y'all can get out my house.
No, you called me a bum.
Okay, and y'all are doing this on Facebook while y'all are sitting in the next room.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up, a call out on social media causes chaos for the cousins.
As soon as she walked by, she threatened me. That wasn't their first time. I've been through too much. How much can a person take? Yes, it was wrong. My form of restraint was not hitting her. I hit her.
Plaintiff Shinwa Hemphill says she's not proud she chose violence to deal with her cousin's constant stealing. She's suing for unpaid rent and a cell phone. Defendant Cece Lanier says she doesn't owe any money because Shinwa's violent behavior forced her to move out.
You comment on the Facebook post and then you come over. Why don't you stand up? You are her brother?
Only by blood, yeah.
And what happens?
My cousin had been calling me for months on end, telling me this, that, and the third was going down. I was tired of it. I ain't here to hear everything. So when she called me like, hey, this the last straw, it's about to go down. I said, let me grab my camera, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
What's about to go down?
I'm about to put her out.
You grabbed your camera.
Yeah, because I know how she get, you feel me? Like she said, writing the letter probably the best thing she could do.
And you went over there and what happened?
It was some words at first. It was just, talking back and forth. It really got kicked off when NG said, boo-bop that ass. And when she said that, she lost it.
Like, is that,
do you have video?
Crop that out of the video?
Yeah, I got a video.
Okay, let me see it. No one say anything while I watch this video.
I swear to God. My problem is with you. And the problem is... The did you say?
She said she gonna boo-bop your ass. Go ahead, tell her what you said. Matter of fact, just boo-bop her.
What the did you say? What you gonna do if I don't? What the did you say? 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 What you gonna do if I don't? I keep talking and I'll hem your ass up again. Girl, what? Boy? What?
Who edited this video?
I did.
And what did you... No, stop laughing. This is not funny. Who edited the video?
I did.
And what did you do with it?
I put it on YouTube and Facebook.
Why?
For views.
So you grab your camera and you go over there, and that tells me that in your mind you think you're gonna get some good video. You are more concerned about getting views on YouTube than being a man stepping in and trying to stop it. And you've given me this whole story about how family-oriented you are.
That's not
how
hit
blood
my family. I didn't
is
hit
so
my
important
family.
to you. You've got your whole family tree tattooed on your arm.
And I didn't hit my family. I hit her. I didn't hit my family. I didn't touch her. I put her out.
That's how it all gets started. You don't know if she has a gun. You don't know if she has a knife. That's how it all gets started.
How what gets started?
Violence. How things get popped off. That's how people like Juan end up coming to a house like yours because somebody's been stabbed, somebody's been shot over what? $1,500 in rent? Over a Samsung phone?
She shouldn't have said what she said. Or she should have boo-bopped her. She would have been on camera
Thank
whooping
you.
ass.
She threatened me first. As soon as she walked by, she threatened me. That wasn't their first time. I've been through too much. She's had my car impounded twice. How much can a person take? Yes, it was wrong. My form of restraint was not hitting her. I hit her. Yes, I did it. But that has been long building up for 8 months.
You talk about over the course of 8 months, this all came to a boil because of a Facebook post. And I know you say you're frustrated because she's been stealing from you. She's been doing all of these things. But at this point, as the 37-year-old and you're dealing with a 23-year-old, this is when I need your maturity to step in, and you say, I am frustrated, this is a problem, but you don't do what you did in that video. That's what you don't do. What's the cell phone, what's the Samsung cell phone about?
She got a job with a major cell phone company. I ended up getting hired on with that company a month later, so we work at the same company on the same lot, and we don't speak. She told me when she got hired, she got an employee discount. So I said, hey, and she needed a cell phone at the time. I happen to have an account with that company. I said, hey, since you need a phone, why don't you just put my account in your name, and then we can use a 50% discount, split the bill, and you'll be able to get a phone.
Why can't she get her own phone?
She owes them. She has a past due balance with them. So and she couldn't get the phone.
How do you work for a cell phone company and can't get a cell phone?
Because she owes them money from a previous account.
I got a phone when I was like 18 years old. And then when I tried, they said I owe a $600 balance.
Okay, and so you then get a phone on your plan. You get a phone on her plan.
Correct.
And so you agreed to make payments, monthly payments on the phone?
Correct.
Are you still doing that?
Yeah.
Why are you suing for the remaining balance on the phone if the agreement was that she would make monthly payments and she's been doing that?
The agreement was that I would get the phone in my name on my account. She would take care of that $600 balance and then get an account in her own name and take over financial responsibility for her line. That was the agreement.
What's the remaining amount on the phone? Because I don't want you making payments to her and for the next year and a half. Because
$428.99.
Give that to me, Juan. Do you have proof that you paid $975 in August or September?
No.
But you agree that it was $975. You're just saying it was September.
It was September.
And you admit you didn't pay. You admit you didn't pay June and July, right?
Correct.
Did you call the police the night of this assault that I just witnessed on video by the plaintiff?
No, we just left. And then she gets the call and then texting me like, you're stupid, why did you leave?
You put her out that night, right?
I told her she had to go, but when she went afterwards, I felt bad. I stayed up talking to him.
Yeah, because you evicted her unlawfully. She's paid rent. I know she's been late, but January she paid the full amount of rent.
I understand that.
And then you just kick her out in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning?
I understand that, and that's why I told her she could come back, but she could not bring her.
So you say, I'm not going to put my hands on my family. I'm going to put my hands on her, but I'm going to kick my family out at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, I did, yes.
Okay. So you are the biggest contradiction standing in front of me right now.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Here's what I'm going to do. Because in a case like this, I'd probably put everybody out. You stealing the debit card, you assaulting someone on video, and you putting it on YouTube acting like it's a joke and funny and bringing it as evidence in court. But because I don't want the two of you to have to go out and deal with each other again, because I'm concerned about what might happen, we're going to resolve this today. I'm going to order you to pay the payoff amount on the Samsung phone, so you don't have to make monthly payments. You won't be on her plan anymore. That's $428. In addition, I'm going to order you to pay 2 months of rent, the 2 months that I know aren't disputed, June and July of 2014. So that's $428.99 in addition to $900 for a total of $1,328. That's a judgment for the plaintiff in that amount. However, I am going to grant your counterclaim $500 for emotional distress. You had no right to evict her in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning. I witnessed a crime on video, you assaulting her. Absolutely, I'm going to grant her emotional distress claim, and if she had asked me for more money, I would have granted her more money. That's a net judgment in favor of the plaintiff, $828.99.
Today on Judge Faith, she helped her BFF get bigger breasts, but now she wants her money back.
If this is something that she wanted for a very long time, this is over 3.5 years she's been talking about this boob job, then you know what, I'm gonna make her dream come true.
So what happened? You gave her $5,000 in cash?
I gave her $5,000 in cash.
Who gives someone $5,000 in cash without getting a receipt, or why would you do that?
And later, her boyfriend bailed, leaving behind a broken heart and unpaid bills.
I came home from work and Brian was gone. He moved his stuff and he was not home and he moved out.
Why would you do that?
I had enough. It was a lot of things going on with me at the time.
So you just left?
Yes.
No warning, no note, you just packed up your things and left?
That's correct.
Like a coward?
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Brandis Bogg says her former medical marijuana dispensary employee begged her to cover the cost of breast augmentation surgery and then refused to pay her back. She's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Kylie Lucero says the new breasts were a gift because her former boss had a lot of money and wanted to help. She's countersuing for harassment. She's accompanied by Troy McConnell.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Bogg versus Lucero.
Thank you, Juan. Brandis Bogg.
Hi, good morning.
You are suing the defendant, Kylie Lucero?
Yes.
For $5,000 you say she owes you for a loan.
Correct.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning and tell me how you know Miss Lucero?
Well, Kylie and I started volunteering in dispensaries in summer 2011, and then
what kind of dispensaries?
Medical marijuana dispensaries.
Here in California?
Here in California, where it is legal. And then about
What do you mean by volunteering?
Volunteering, we volunteer our services, our time to help serve patients, make sure that they're knowledgeable of the medication that they are receiving.
So you weren't getting paid?
Correct.
And what were you getting in exchange for volunteering?
Medicine, marijuana.
Okay. And so you have a, right. This is a California audience.
Yeah.
So you were volunteering at the dispensary. In exchange, you were getting medicinal marijuana, you're saying, for
Correct.
free. Why did you need it?
I needed it because I have an immune disorder. I was diagnosed in 2008. The medications that they were prescribing me, it was just not working out for me. I wanted a more holistic way of fixing myself, I guess, and the medical marijuana does do that for me.
And so this was like your full-time, what you were doing full-time volunteering at this dispensary?
I was doing it part-time. I had a part-time retail job as well.
Okay, and what about you?
Why I smoked?
Yes.
I didn't have any medical condition. We also made tips too.
Okay, so you were volunteering, and did you get medicine as well?
Yes.
But you don't have a
But I
condition.
don't have, no, I don't.
How did you get a prescription if you don't have a condition?
Anybody can get a prescription nowadays. I can say I can't sleep at night and they'll give me a prescription for that.
I see you over there cleaning your nails, sir. You act like you don't even want to look at me right now. Who are you?
I am her boyfriend / fiance.
Don't understand
why don't you have a seat for a second? So the two of you met at a dispensary?
Correct.
You say, and then that dispensary got shut down?
Correct. Yeah,
Why is that?
Most alcohol.
Because she was getting medicine for free? And that's illegal?
Yeah, you would think, but no, the DEA comes in and shuts down. Whatever federally they assign to state police, they go ahead and do because it's a federal order. So it's something that happens between like every year to year and a half of one shop being open.
Were you the only one getting free medicine, or were there others?
There were others.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's why the
everybody
DEA
does
came in.
Yeah.
Are you aware of this? Are you aware of this sort of volunteering at dispensaries in exchange for medicine?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Coming up, a half-baked contract causes confusion.
They told me as long as it's written down and signed, then you have a contract.
The witness.
There was a witness.
I don't need a witness. She just, hold on a second, sir. She just admitted to the court that she read and signed this agreement.
Yeah,
I don't need a witness. She's the best witness right here.
And later, a lover leaves unexpectedly.
I don't know. I kind of like felt like I was having like a nervous breakdown or something. I mean, I didn't understand what was going on with my body. I was talking
Where
to
did
the
you
doctor. I went home.
And you didn't feel comfortable discussing this with your girlfriend, the woman who you'd been living with for almost a year and had been dating for 2 years?
Plaintiff Brandis Bogg says she wanted to see her former employee happy, so she agreed to let her borrow the money for the new breasts. She's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Kylie Lucero says she doesn't owe anything because the money was a gift and not a loan. She's countersuing for harassment.
So after that, she goes to get her old job back at her other dispensary under the boss that she did not like. And that's fine. This whole time, though, she's been talking about getting a boob job. I want to get a boob job. I want to get a boob job.
And you talked to her about borrowing the money.
She begged me.
I did not
more
beg.
than
She
2
offered,
3 times.
She offered.
She begged me about 2 3 times.
Well, tell me about the conversation. Tell me what happened.
She was like, I have $30,000 just sitting here. Like, I wouldn't mind giving you the money for your boob job because I couldn't get finance.
Because she probably has bad credit for not paying other people back.
So what do you say the conversation was?
The conversation was she came over, she's like, I really need this money, like, you know, this and that. And then the next time I visited her, it was like, I only need $5,000. I only need $5,000. Please, please, I'll pay you back. I promise it'll be my priority. And honestly, I got tired of her.
Did you ever tell her that you had $30,000 sitting in your bank account?
No.
Did you have $30,000 sitting in your bank account?
No,
she offered because she felt guilty.
I did not.
So you're saying that she offered.
Cash.
You're saying that she volunteered to give you $5,000, no strings attached, just because the two of you were volunteering together at a couple of marijuana dispensaries and had become friends?
Yep, I thought she was my friend.
She had offered her multiple times.
You are her boyfriend?
Offered anyway,
Step over to the left.
We lived together, and she told me, she's like, yeah, Brandy offered to loan me the money.
Did you hear the conversation, or are you just telling me what she told you?
No, what she had told me. She said she offered her the money, but she didn't want to have to owe her money, so.
But did you hear that directly from the plaintiff?
No.
Basically, I got tired of her begging me. I was like, okay, you know what? I can manage. I have enough saved up. I come from a wealthy family. I said, okay, if we're gonna go ahead and do this loan, then I wanna write a contract that states that you have to pay me back X amount per month.
Where'd you get the money from?
It's something I've saved over the years. I'm privileged. That's all I gotta really say. I mean, I know how to manage my money, and I don't pay rent. I'm very blessed. So I figured, I'll help somebody else out. I'm a good person. I put others before me. And, if this is something that she wanted for a very long time, this is over 3.5 years she's been talking about this boob job, then, I'm going to make her dream come true.
So what happened? You gave her $5,000 in cash?
I gave her $5,000 in cash.
Why would you give her $5,000 in cash? I'm just curious.
Because we had a good friendship.
But you say you know how to manage your money and how responsible you are, and I'm just wondering who gives someone $5,000 in cash without getting a receipt, or why would you do that?
I used to do her hair too in exchange for that.
What?
I used to do her hair for free in exchange for that.
Prior to
you used to do
the
her hair in exchange for what? $5,000?
Yeah, for her giving me that money. Yeah. I'm trying to be nice and pay her back.
I would have to do a lot to my hair for $5,000.
When she used to pay me, it was $200.
Okay.
And with this, she used to drive 1.5 hours to me. She never would specify, okay, it's gonna be $70 for this. She would be, I don't know, just pay me whatever you want. So every time
did you get the breast implants?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I have a picture.
And do you have any evidence of how much they cost?
No.
How much did they cost?
$6,000.
You used the $5,000 that you got from her, that you say she gave you.
I have the pictures of the before and after.
Do I want to see this?
On the left is before and on the right is after, which is a very obvious difference.
I mean, okay, so well, she admits that she got the breast
implants. She's basically flat on the left, and then on the right she has big old knockers on that side.
Well, I mean, it's not in dispute. She admits
She's
that
always
she
wanted
did
a
get the
boob job
implants.
too, so don't let her fool you.
I appreciate the photo, but it's not in dispute that she got the
Correct.
boob job. But the question is, do you have any evidence that this was a loan versus a gift?
I do have a written contract.
You signed a contract?
It was not a contract.
May I see what you have, please? What do you say?
It's online piece of paper. It was a joke. Yeah.
I mean, I come from
There's no lawyer. There was no.
So just because it's on a lined piece of paper, you're not taking it seriously. It's a joke, and I shouldn't take it seriously.
I mean, I come from a background of lawyers.
Did you sign this?
She was high when she wrote it, so.
To be honest, I come from a background of lawyers. They told me as long as it's written down and signed, then you have a contract.
Why isn't he here then? Because he's a witness.
I'm asking you a question, ma'am. Is that the document you signed?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a witness.
I don't need a witness. She just, hold on a second, sir. She just admitted to the court that she read and signed this agreement.
Yeah,
I don't need a witness. She's the best witness right here. She signed it.
It says boob fund.
I mean, this is really clear cut. You both signed an agreement. She loaned you $5,000 on August 17, 2014. You agreed to make monthly payments for a year.
She also said I could
payments
do her
between
hair.
$400 and $450. How many times have you done her hair since you signed this agreement?
4 times.
4 times. Okay, so we're not even near $5,000.
No.
Okay, so to be fair, since you did make this side agreement that she would do your hair in exchange for deducting some of the money from the $5,000, here's what we're gonna do. And she did your hair 4 times. So I'm going to deduct $800 for your hair services. What is your counterclaim for $1,000 for harassment about?
For her harassing me for her money?
Asking for the money?
Yes.
Okay, I see no evidence of harassment, ma'am. So your counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $4,200.
Plaintiff Andrea Hughes says her ex-boyfriend played her from day one. So it was no surprise when he broke their lease months early. She's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Brian Bailey says his ex-girlfriend told him she'd cover the remaining rent and is only demanding the money because she's angry about their breakup.
Andrea Hughes?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant Brian Bailey?
Yes.
For $2,400 for unpaid rent?
Yes.
So as I understand it, you're alleging that the defendant did not pay 3 months of rent last year, October, November, and December?
Yes.
At $800 per month? That's where the $2,400 that you're suing for comes from? Okay, so why don't we start from the very beginning and you tell me how you know Mr. Bailey?
Okay, I met Brian in the beginning of 2012 at our local college. We had a couple of classes together. And despite our age difference...
What is the age difference?
I'm 37 and he is 51. We pretty much hit it off and we started dating. And we dated for almost 2 years when we decided to move in together.
Okay, and what do you have to say, sir, about how the two of you met?
It was, like you said in the beginning, it was good. Everything was going nice. You know, we hit it off intellectually.
What were you studying at the time?
Television and film.
Okay, and so you had a few classes together and the two of you dated for 2 years before you moved in together?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, in January of 2014, we moved in, signed a 1-year lease agreement.
Both of you were on the lease?
Yes.
May I have a copy of it, please?
Sure.
And was this a 1-bedroom apartment?
It was a 2-bedroom with a den, yes.
Okay.
He signed the lease and
what
we
was the
agreed
agreement
to
in
pay
terms of who would pay?
50-50.
Is that true?
50, yes, that's correct.
And what was the total amount of rent?
$1,600.
Okay, got it.
And everything was going fine until about September. I had a couple classmates come to me and inform me that I wasn't the first one in school that Brian had seen. And in the beginning of our relationship, he was seeing another student there.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the lovers reveal more about their relationship.
Actually, she was just jealous and insecure. If I talked to anybody, I was like doing something. If I talked to a woman, I'm cheating. If I'm talking to a man, I'm gay. I mean, she was just doing all kinds of stuff, you know?
Plaintiff Andrea Hughes says her ex-boyfriend walked out on the lease and the relationship. She's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Brian Bailey says he doesn't owe any money because his ex-girlfriend agreed to cover the rest of the lease.
2 years later, at the time, they pretty much told me that it was in the beginning of our relationship that he was seeing someone else.
Oh, at the same time?
Yeah, at the same time. So I questioned him about it. And of course, he denied it. He said that the men who told me that, they just wanted to hit on me, and the women just wanted to cause drama.
Was it true what they were telling her?
No, it wasn't. Actually, she was just jealous and insecure. You know, if I talked to anybody, I was like doing something. If I talked to a woman, I'm cheating. If I'm talking to a man, I'm gay. I mean, she was just doing all kinds of stuff, you know?
So in 2014, you both are still students at the school? At the same school where you met?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're hearing this and you approach him about it?
Yes. And pretty much I didn't have sketch in stone evidence, so I just put it in the back burner for a moment.
Were you being insecure?
No, I wasn't. You know, I wasn't insecure at all. That was the first time that I approached him with anything as far as cheating or other women or anything like that.
Okay.
Once I put it on the back burner, October the 1st, I came home from work and Brian was gone. He moved his stuff and he was not home and he moved out.
Why would you do that?
I had enough. It started in...
So if you're dating someone for 2 years and you've lived with them for 7 months, you just pick up in the middle of the day, pack up all your stuff, and move out without giving her the tiniest bit of closure?
I was trying to talk to her about it. I've been trying to talk to her about it, but she just wasn't hearing me.
What, a disappearing act? You were going to tell her you were going to pull a disappearing act before you did it?
No, actually, I was trying to talk to her, but she wasn't hearing me. And it was a lot of things going on with me at the time.
So you just left?
Yes.
No warning, no note, you just packed up your things and left?
That's correct.
Like a coward? What was going on?
I was having some physical. In September, I had helped some friends move, and then I ended up having like a cramp in my back, and I ended up massaging it out with a massager, and it went down into my leg. And then it turned out to be like deteriorating disc and sciatic nerve, and I was just in a lot of pain. We weren't engaging in sex a lot and stuff like that. She thought it was that I was seeing somebody else, and it wasn't that at all. I was really trying to figure out what was going on with me, you know.
Did you know he was having some physical issues?
Yes, I knew that he was going to the doctor.
Despite that, why is the solution to that picking up and moving in the middle of the day?
I don't know. I kind of like felt like I was having like a nervous breakdown or something. I mean, I didn't understand what was going on with my body. I was talking to the doctor.
Where did you go?
I went home.
Where's home?
Wisconsin.
And what is your condition now? Is this something that's been resolved?
It's still going on. I mean, I'm going to the doctor every month now.
And you didn't feel comfortable discussing this with your girlfriend, the woman who you'd been living with for almost a year and had been dating for 2 years?
I did talk to her about it, but she just wasn't hearing me.
What I actually think is true, Your Honor. I think he was cheating, and when I questioned him, it shook him up a little bit, and he ran. And that's what I believe.
So you leave, you stop paying rent, but you think he's coming back?
For at least in the beginning of October, I still was thinking that he was coming back.
And that would be okay with you?
It would have been okay because I needed the rent money. I wanted him to come back and take care of his responsibility at home.
Why do you not think you owe for those 3 months, sir, if you were on the lease and disappeared in the middle of the night like you described here today?
Well, when I was there, and after I told her what was going on with me, she told me that it would be okay. She told me that she would take care of it for, at that time. I mean, during the relationship, it was times where I paid more money than she did.
I'm not asking you about those times. I'm asking you about October, November, December, which you're obligated to pay half.
At the time, she said that she was going to take care of it, and then I told her, once I got back on my feet and everything, that I was going to help,
Okay, and did you ever do that?
No.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Are you in a relationship now?
No.
Where do you live now?
I'm staying at different families' houses.
In Wisconsin?
Yes.
What do you know about his current living situation?
I just know he moved back home. I do know that there's an ex there. I believe that's where he's at, but I have no clue.
Okay, based on everything I've heard today, you haven't given me a valid defense as to why you don't owe for 3 months of back rent. Even if the two of you were to enter into a new agreement where she agreed to pay for the rent and cover those expenses, I would need to see that in writing because his lease is in writing. In order for you to amend a written lease, you'd have to amend it and agree to it in writing, and I don't have that. So that's the first part of my ruling. The second part of my ruling is I do not believe that she told you you did not have to pay rent for those 3 months. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $2,400.
Today on Judge Faith, a broken lease busts the bonds of friendship.
I was still paying my rent every month. She was threatening me, telling me she was gonna put me out.
No one's been paying rent except for you?
After dealing with all this, I don't even want to remain anymore.
That's kind of a problem for you.
And later, did the ring mean a thing?
We be talking on the phone every day that we're gonna get engaged and get married and all, so.
You bought the ring the first day you met?
Yeah, that's when he bought the ring, the first day.
Let's think about this for a second. This is the first time the two of you are meeting. You have to know something's up.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Jennifer Sewell says her former best friend moved out of their apartment 8 months early. She's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Jamie Usher says she feared for her life while living with Jennifer and doesn't owe any money because she was officially removed from the lease. She's accompanied by Drew Kurtz.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is a case of Sewell versus Usher.
Thank you, Juan. Jennifer Sewell?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant, Jamie Usher, for $1,933. You say she owes you for unpaid rent?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. Why don't we start from the beginning? You tell me what's going on here.
Okay. We've been friends for 10 years, and back in 2014, we got an apartment together, and she decided to move out and left me with everything.
How did the two of you know each other?
We've known each other since middle school, and in 2010, she helped me get a job where she was working at the lodge. Well, she ended up getting fired after a while because she was late for work. Well, of course, after you don't work for a while, you're gonna end up broke soon. So her and her then boyfriend decided to plan a robbery against me with one other person.
They planned to rob you?
Yeah, they planned to rob me because since she worked at the place I worked at, she knew how everything worked. She knew I handled all the money, she knew where it was kept, blase, blase. So they ended up planning everything out, and she was kind of the mastermind, if you will.
Is this true?
No, it was a rumor.
It was a rumor?
Yes.
What was this rumor? How was this supposedly going to go down?
It was her then boyfriend, and another girl. They all planned to come in before I closed one night, because I always took my deposits to the bank, and get the money. Her boyfriend was going to attack me, I guess, to get the money, and she told him, oh, don't do that, just pistol whip her. Keep in mind, I'm 8 months pregnant at the time, and this is supposed to be my best friend. So my manager
Who did you
found
hear
out
this from? I know this is all hearsay, but I'm just interested in the story. Who did
from
you
the
hear
girl
this
that was
from?
living with her friend that was involved with it.
Okay. And I know you're saying this is this is just a rumor, completely false allegation, and you don't know anything
Me and her
about
fell out,
this.
the girl that was staying with me.
And she came up with this elaborate story on her own?
Yes, she did.
So how did the two of you end up being roommates a couple of years later?
We stopped talking for about a year after that happened, and again, started talking again, I don't know why. In 2012, we ended up getting cool again.
So you decided to be friends with her again, because what's a little thing like a robbery, assault, conspiracy? Why let a little thing like that get in the way of your friendship, right?
We've fell out so many times, ended up back cool so many times. We've been through a lot together, you know? It's like my sister. It's like family. If you and your sister or somebody get into an argument, are you just gonna not talk to them at all anymore? Like,
no.
Well, you know, I've learned my lesson now. It took this right here.
Someone plans to rob, you're 8 months pregnant, and you truly believe that someone has planned a robbery and a plan to pistol whip you. They should be the last person on earth you would want to live with.
Coming up on Judge Faith, was Jamie part of a plot to rob her roommate? Or is Jennifer just creating conflict?
She was cheating. I was fear for my life. You know, she's bringing another man.
So now you're in fear for your life.
Yeah, she's bringing another man in the house 30, 45 minutes before her man comes home. I don't know, he could come home early. He can come home and snap and kill her.
And later, a profile pulls a proposal.
I gave her a wink, so she went back. So we talked about the past and all. We want to get married again.
I had to get to know somebody before I get married. I ain't just jumping up and marrying nobody.
Plaintiff Jennifer Sewell says her former best friend isn't telling the truth about the broken lease. She's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Jamie Usher says she doesn't owe anything because her former roommate had boyfriend problems and took it out on her.
So you were only there for 2 months?
Yes, ma'am.
And you signed a 1-year lease, right?
Yes,
May I see the
ma'am.
lease?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you leave early?
I was going back and forth with my boyfriend. He lives in Marietta, Georgia. I was still paying my rent every month. She was getting on to me. One time she thought I was gonna be late. I wasn't, I paid it. She was threatening me, telling me she was gonna put me out. One day she came to me, she said after her baby daddy left her with the rent, she was cheating. I was fear for my life. You know, she's bringing another man.
So now you're in fear for your life.
Yeah, she's bringing another man in the house 30, 45 minutes before her man comes home. I don't know, he could come home early. He can come home and snap and kill her.
I understand you guys had some disputes about who was paying the rent on time
where she works at, he was staying at.
The lodge?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up, sir. What are you saying you are a witness to? You heard for yourself.
I'm a witness from day one, from everything. I'm standing over the counter and handing her the money receipt, money order for her and my rent. And she was like, Drew, what's going on? Da-da-da-da. Well, I'm just tired of this.
She works at the lodge, so you're paying your rent to her.
Yeah. Right.
While
And
she's on the
her
phone
my money order.
with her, and so you're giving her a money order as well. Got it. All right, and you hear the plaintiff say to the
Clear as a
defendant.
bell. Well, we could just break the lease, because I'm tired of this.
And so did you give her permission to leave and break the lease?
I did not. That's why I didn't sign the paper when she went up to take her name off.
Do you still live in this apartment?
Yes, I do.
Who lives with you now?
Just me and my kids.
Okay, so you're the only one paying rent?
That's correct.
And have you tried to get anyone else to move into the apartment and take her place since she's moved out?
I've asked some people, but after dealing with all this, I don't even want to remain anymore.
That's kind of a problem for you. Here's the issue for you. You broke the lease, and I don't credit your testimony when you say that you were so afraid for your life. You had to get out of there after a couple of months. It sounds like you were staying a lot with your boyfriend, and you probably rather live with him. And just because you fall out with somebody, you may not like them anymore, you're still legally obligated when you sign a one-year lease. However, you say, and this document is clear, because this document states that whatever is agreed to in this document is now incorporated into this lease. And actually, if there's any inconsistency between this document and this lease, what's written in this document will prevail. The issue that you have is this document states she is completely released from the remainder of the lease. It also states that she is no longer responsible for the remainder of the lease. She signs it, and your issue is the landlord agreed to this and signed it. Nowhere in this document does it state that your signature is required. So I have no choice. This is your evidence. I have no choice in this case. Judgment's for the defendant.
Plaintiff Luther Hester says he immediately fell in love with Vicky, and when he gave her a ring, he believed they were engaged. He's suing for the cost of an engagement ring. Defendant Vicky Moore says she liked Luther but was not in love with him and wants to keep the ring because it was a gift. She's countersuing for malicious prosecution.
Luther Hester.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were suing the defendant Vicky Moore?
Yes.
For $2,000 for the return of an engagement ring you say you purchased for her?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're countersuing, ma'am, for $5,000 for malicious prosecution?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with you, sir. Tell me what's going on. How did you meet the defendant?
In January 2015, I on the internet, right, called blackpeoplemeet.com. So I was looking for...
That's an online dating site?
Yeah, online dating thing. Well, I've been on like maybe a couple of months. I was looking for a wife, like I'm reading profiles. So I ran across Miss Vicky Moore's profile, so it sounded good to me. So
what sounded good to you about her profile?
Well, the way she just put it out there, you know, herself, you know, what she was, what she wanted, what about, and all that. Then I gave her a wink, so she winked back. So then I sent her my phone number. So after that, she called me.
Because that's how the website works. You wink at someone, and you know they're interested if they wink back at you.
Yes, ma'am.
And if they don't wink, you just keep scrolling.
Yes.
Okay, keep going, okay.
So we talked about the past and all, about how we've been married, and, you know, got a divorce, and then we want to get married again. That was in January.
So when he winked at you in January, you then saw his profile, did you tell him that you were on Black People Meet to meet a potential husband?
I date to meet a husband. I do desire to get married. But I had to get to know somebody before I get married. I ain't just jumping up and marrying nobody.
Coming up on Judge Faith, a phone call ends their online romance.
That evening I called her, she, you know, picked up the phone. It would sound like she was having sex. So
you thought you called her cheating when you called her?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, she was having sex right out of her mouth. I know how sex sounds, and that way she was sounding.
Plaintiff Luther Hester says he bought the ring because he believed they were engaged. He's suing for the cost of an engagement ring. Defendant Vicky Moore says the ring was a gift. She's countersuing for malicious prosecution.
March the 9th was our first date.
And how did that happen?
He caught the train to my house. It was a good first date. I mean,
leading up to that, you had several phone conversations,
we
right?
had a lot of phone
conversations. And you would talk
conversations.
for
We
hours
talked
at a time?
every day since February the 23rd.
Oh, every day, okay.
Every day.
And what did you do the first day together?
We went to Best Buy. He bought me a Samsung tablet. Then we went and got my car washed. We went to lunch. Then we went shopping. I went and bought me some suits. I bought my own suits. And then we was in the mall, and then we went to the jewelry store. And that's when he bought the ring.
Oh, so you bought the ring the first day you met?
Yeah, that's when he bought the ring, the first day.
So what was going on that day, sir? You were taking her shopping, you were buying her things. It was seems like you were having a good day.
We went to ate first, and then, like she said, we went shopping. She bought her clothes, and then I bought her that, went to Best Buy, bought her the iPad. That was a birthday gift. That was a gift I had told her back while that I'll give her a birthday gift. So then we were leaving like tomorrow. So the jewelry store.
Let me ask you something, because now that I know that you purchased this ring the first day the two of you met, you had been talking to her every day on the phone. When you showed up at that point, were you in love with her?
Yes.
You were. And did you tell her that?
Yes.
And did you feel the same way about him?
No.
Okay. So what's your plan?
My plan then after we went to the mall, and before we left, it was a jewelry store there. So we both went into the jewelry store so we could get our ring size. You know,
okay,
for
but
the
tell me,
wedding ring.
hold on a second. So you're just walking by a jewelry store? There was no plan to go?
It had came up a while when we be talking on the phone every day that we gonna get married again and we gotta get engaged and, you know, get married and all. So that day, we went to get our ring size. I mean, what we gonna get our ring size for, you know? So to get married and engaged. So I went, like you said, into the store, and then the lady brought me a ring like $10,000. I said, no, ain't no way I pay no $10,000 for no ring. So then she came and got another ring. It was $6,000. No, that was still too much. I couldn't do that either. So then she came back with another, gave me ring for like $2,800, and she put it on her finger. Miss Moore put it on her finger like she didn't even want to take it off. I love this ring, I love this ring. I said, okay, we get married, so you want the ring, I'll get you the ring. So she said, yeah, I love. So I talked the lady down to $2,000. It was $2,800, talked her to $2,000. And then she said, okay. So then when I tried to purchase it with my credit card, so it didn't go through. And then I passed it back through again. We did it for $500 for a down payment. And then she's supposed to pick it up Monday because they decided her finger. So she came by my place that Sunday, and I gave her $1,100 bill to go to pick up the ring.
And she
picked up the ring that Monday. Then she texted me a picture of her ring and all, happy.
So, okay. Did you propose to her?
Every time I get back, I tell her I gotta take the ring off and get on my knee. She'll holler, no. When every time, it ain't that time. So it looked like to me, it was I'd ask her there the service time to take off her ring so I could get on my knee, propose to her. No. Every time, no. And left like that.
So that's why you didn't do the official proposal,
right,
you're saying?
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
And what's your version of this? How did the two of you end up in the jewelry store and what happened?
We walked into the jewelry store. I walked around the store, I was looked at some rings, and she bought out a ring, it was $10,000. And I was like, oh, I got good. I mean, I was just looking. The lady went in the back and came out with this ring. And she looked at it and she said it was $6,000. She said, but it's on sale for $2,800. And I said, oh, okay.
So why didn't you buy it? Why is he buying it?
He looked at the ring, he said, do you want it? I said, no, I'm not finna get no ring today because I wasn't even thinking. So he turned around, he said, do you want it? And I looked at him, I'm like, no, I don't think I'm not gonna get it. Then he said, do you want it? And I said, are you gonna buy it? Because he kept asking me. And he said, he turned around to the lady, he said, what if I give you $2,000 for it?
What do you think he's buying you a $2,000 ring for?
You know, I think that he liked me. He was buying me gifts. Part of my profile says I'm looking for somebody who's generous, who shares. I thought that he was trying to show me that part of it. It's not unusual. Your Honor, look at you. You date, I don't know if you date, if you're married, but don't you get gifts? Don't men give you gifts? I get flowers, I get gifts. This is a gift, this is a gift. I mean, so when he bought the ring, I was just thinking he was buying me a gift.
Listen. People buy each other gifts all the time in relationships, but let's think about this for a second. This is the first time the two of you are meeting. This is a ring, and it's a $2,000 ring that he's buying you. You have to know something's up. Your day of shopping at Best Buy.
I think he had to ask me, and I would have said no.
Your day of shopping at Best Buy and going to lunch and all these other things, now it's ended. You two at a jewelry store, he's buying you a $2,000 ring. What do you think is going on? The two of you are not dating anymore, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so how did this end?
We were in like on April 2015. I called her that morning. I said, hello, like we always talk. So that evening I called her. So she, picked up the phone. It was sounding like she was having sex. So after that, then that lasted about a minute. Then she said that her mama called her. She got to hang up the phone real quick, and that was it. She didn't call me back.
So you thought you called her cheating when you called her?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, she was having sex right out of her mouth. I know how sex sounds, and that way she was sounding. Moaning and groaning. We know how sex sounds. And that way, when I called her, when she picked up the phone, it was going on like that.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So normally here's the law on this. Normally when you give gifts to someone, because I think it was a gift, okay? I think you gave it to her as a gift. No. And under the law, when you give a gift to someone, you can't, especially because I have people who come in here all the time and they form relationships and they've given people things and they say, oh, it was a loan, I want this back. When it was a gift and they're just angry and upset because the relationship didn't work out. The exception to that rule under the law is with engagement rings. If someone gives you a ring in contemplation of marriage and the marriage doesn't actually take place, then legally you have to return the ring. And so in determining if something was given in contemplation of marriage, I have to look at his intent when he bought the ring. And based on the testimony today, I actually think, as crazy as some people may think it is, when you meet someone on the first date, the two of you have been talking every day, I'm not going to hold it against him that he acted too quickly, but I think that he purchased the ring because he thought he was going to marry you. And I actually believe him when he said that he tried to propose to you several times and you would not accept his proposal. But I actually credit his testimony. I think that he bought you this ring because he wanted to marry you. What is your counterclaim about for malicious prosecution? $5,000.
Well, Mama, it doesn't work now since you think that he bought the ring for marriage.
So your counterclaim for malicious prosecution is dismissed. You want to keep the ring? If you want to keep it, that's fine, but then you have to pay him the $2,000 he paid for the ring. It's up to you. Okay, I'm going to order you to pay $2,000 to the plaintiff, the value of the ring. Sir, do you know who Kanye West is? You know who Kanye West is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you know who Kanye West is? All right, I'm just going to give you some advice going forward when you're on these sites. Find someone who loves you like Kanye loves Kanye. Yeah. And then you're going to be okay. $2,000 just before the plaintiff.
Thank you, Ron. I'm still looking for love. I will keep looking till I can find love.
Luther, take this ring. I don't want this ring. He can really keep this shit. I don't even want it. And the only reason why is because he was wrong. He lied about an engagement. Ain't nobody gonna marry this fool on the first date.
Today on Judge Faith, was he the victim of a crime committed by his cousin?
The IRS agent showed me pictures of her mama, of her brother, and told me this is our identity theft ring.
Or was she the target of a jealous family member?
I do think that's incorrect. I do not remember the case. I do not remember the date.
Now Judge Faith uncovers the truth behind the cousin-on-cousin crime.
Under no circumstances, not in 2015, not in 2010, not in 1965, were you supposed to have funds transferred into your bank account.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Jacob Lewis says he got a surprise visit from IRS agents informing him his cousin had altered his tax return and stolen his identity. He's suing for his tax refund. Defendant Jehoadan Wilson says her cousin is suing because he's hard up for cash and she doesn't owe anything. She's accompanied by Joanne Wilson.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Lewis versus Wilson.
Thank you, Juan. Jacob Lewis.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Jehoadan Wilson, for $6,086 for a tax return refund?
That's correct, Your
And
Honor.
as I understand from reviewing your papers and your evidence, the defendant was your former tax preparer.
Yes, that is
And you
correct.
are alleging that she filed a false return and kept the refund from that return, and you're suing her in court today?
That is correct, Your
So
Honor.
why don't we start from the beginning? Tell me how you know Ms. Wilson in addition to being your tax preparer.
Ms. Wilson is actually my cousin. On this one particular occasion in 2010 or 2009, she called me and stated that she was moving and she needed my help. She was getting evicted. She was actually getting evicted.
Were you getting evicted?
No, I wasn't, Your Honor.
She was getting evicted, Your Honor, and the house that she was in was stolen.
What do you mean by a stolen house? You mean she was squatting?
No, she broke into the house and moved all her furniture in there and was staying there.
Okay, so that is squatting. Were you squatting in someone's house, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
Did you have a legal right to be in this home?
Yes, Your Honor.
Whose home was it?
It was my home I was leasing. I don't know where he's concocted this story.
So you weren't being evicted, you were just moving to, where did you move?
I moved to Brentwood, Your Honor. At that time, he was helping me move into a new residence of mine.
And she moved into a new home? Where did you move her?
I moved her, I got her stuff into the U-Haul.
Are you an accountant?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay, when did you get your license?
I am not a CPA, a certified public accountant. I am a business accountant. So I am certified and registered as a tax preparer, and I got registered in 2009. That's October of 2009.
What evidence do you have that she was squatting?
She told me that she had to move out this place, and she had to get out right now.
Because?
Because she was getting evicted out of the house. It was somebody else's house.
And did you tell him that?
No, Your Honor.
Why the pause?
Because I was seeing, he said that, he said he was helping me move, and he didn't help me move out nowhere. He helped me move into my new residence. So how did he help me move out somewhere
That's
when
untrue,
he
Your
helped me
Honor.
move in?
That's-
So it's two different stories going on here.
Okay, but
so you can see that it's not true.
Well, no, I don't know. I'm just asking you, did you ever tell him what you said you
Absolutely
told
not,
him?
Your Honor.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay. What year is it that you say you helped her move, sir?
It was maybe 2009, 2010.
What county?
Contra Costa County, and still remain in Contra Costa County.
And in November 2009, you had a case filed against you for an unlawful detainer charge filed against you. What's that about?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, in 2009, I pulled your background. I did a background check on you.
I don't remember, Your Honor,
And in
sorry.
2009, you had a case against you in Contra Costa County in the state of California. You had an unlawful detainer charge against you. You don't remember that case?
No, I do think that's incorrect. I do think that's incorrect. I do not remember the case. I do not remember the date. I don't remember
When
at
did you
all.
move her? Or what month?
2009.
What month?
November, about November, December, something
November
like that.
20th, 2009, ma'am. That's on your
November
record.
November 20th, 2009, I was not moving.
I thought you said you didn't remember.
No, he helped me move in June of 2009. So that does not, that does not coordinate the dates. That's why I said I don't know anything about that. So the dates don't coordinate.
How convenient. How convenient.
Yeah, how convenient. Yeah, I do have you all receipts. So
you don't remember an unlawful detainer case filed against you in 2009. You have absolutely no memory of what that's
Absolutely
about
not.
and what
Absolutely
happened to
not.
that case.
Absolutely
Did you go to
not.
court?
Absolutely, I don't know, Your Honor. I don't remember.
Ma'am, do you remember anything about this? Is this this is your mother? Would you step
Yeah,
over to the
okay.
lectern, please? Ms. Wilson, do you know anything about this unlawful detainer filed against your daughter in November of 2009?
I don't actually remember what years like that, but I remember something about she went to court about, you know.
So she told you she went to court for unlawful detainer?
I just knew that in Brentwood, it was something going on with a landlord and my daughter, and she was going to court fighting, dealing with a situation of a house. Mm-hmm. That's all I know.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
She was being honest.
Mm-hmm.
You're not.
Because, Your Honor, it has nothing to do with the case. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with the case.
I make that determination, not you.
Coming up on Judge Faith, this isn't the first time one of these cousins has been to court.
So according to you, you never finished your 2010 return return.
She went to jail again on something else.
Is that true?
Plaintiff Jacob Lewis says he discovered he was the victim of a tax fraud ring when the FBI raided his cousin's business. He's suing for his tax refund. Defendant Jehoadan Wilson says she doesn't owe her cousin any money because she correctly filed his tax return.
Tell me about your lawsuit against her, sir. Tell me about the allegations you're making that she fraudulently prepared your 2010 tax return.
I went to her office. She got my personal information, my personal, you know, my...
What year is this?
This is approximately 2011.
2011 for your 2010 return?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You go to her office, you give her your personal information, you say, this is how much money I made this year, and I want you to file this tax return for me.
Right.
Is that true?
No, that's not true.
Okay. What do you say happened?
Okay. I give her my personal identifying information. I talk to her cousin. She say, yeah, okay, sign this, sign that, right?
Did she prepare your tax return for 2010?
She prepared them, but not right.
With the IRS?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what's the issue?
Later on, the IRS called me at my home and says, you know, where are you at? We need to talk to you and everything. I'm at home. They come to my home. IRS agent. I ain't never seen an IRS agent. The IRS agent showed me pictures of her mama, of her brother, and told me this is an identity theft ring. Do you own a business? This is what the IRS agent asked me. Do you own a business? I said, no, sir, Your Honor. I said, no, sir, I don't. He said, have you ever owned a business? I've never owned a business. Okay, and then he studied writing stuff as I'm telling him, okay? You show me their pictures and say you've been a victim of identity theft.
What did they say happened?
She filed my tax return as a business.
Show me what the IRS gave you.
Okay.
Did you not look at your 2010 return when she completed it and sign off on it? And
I didn't have a knowledge of it.
But you went to her to file your 2010 return. Did you not see a completed return that was submitted to the IRS?
No.
You never saw that?
No.
So according to you, she never finished the 2010 return?
She sent me a letter later on stating that she needed to update her credentials and, you know, she going on vacation.
So according to you, you never finished your 2010 return with her?
I never. She went to jail again on something else.
Is that true?
No, it's not true.
Okay, so according to you, no return was ever filed for you on 2010 according to your knowledge, but the IRS is saying that it was.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is your version of this?
With his permission, I did file a 2000 tax return.
2010 tax return?
Yeah.
When did you do that?
It was filed, I believe, in 2011.
In that 2010 tax return, which I have a copy of here, and you're saying this is the return that you prepared on his behalf.
Yes, Your
correct?
Honor. Yes.
Did he get a refund?
Yes, he did.
He got a refund of over $4,000, and it was wired into 2 different bank accounts. Who do these bank accounts belong to? You prepared this return, correct? You put this information in this return, correct?
No, that's not correct.
Who did, if you didn't?
I filed a tax return on his behalf. I did not put any information on the paper.
Where did this information come from?
From just conversations, statements from the client.
Who submitted this to the IRS?
It was electronically filed originally.
By who, ma'am?
By my office, Your Honor.
By you?
Yes, in my office.
Okay, by you. There are 2 bank accounts on this 2010 tax return.
Yes.
Money is being directed into 2 bank accounts. Who do these bank accounts belong to?
One is mine, my business. Okay, and then the second one is his account.
Mine.
And for
Why are you
2010.
depositing? Why are you depositing
Your Honor, she never
funds
deposited.
into?
For my
not
fees.
asking you a question.
It was for my fees, Your Honor.
No, ma'am. That is inappropriate and it is unethical.
Actually, the law didn't change until
Absolutely
this year.
not. Absolutely not. If you think for
still...
1 second you're going to come in here and tell me that this is a new law, that as a tax preparer,
is a new law.
that as a tax preparer, you can legally have your client's funds transferred electronically into your account, I'm telling you right now, that game is not going to work with me.
Okay, well, Your Honor,
it is absolutely inappropriate.
Yes,
under no circumstances, not in 2015, not in 2010, not in 1965, were you supposed to have funds transferred into your bank account.
Coming up, the cousin versus cousin caper gets even more complicated.
Why does it say this return is self-prepared,
Because of the software was very basic.
You have got to be kidding me.
Plaintiff Jacob Lewis says his cousin fraudulently filed his tax return and stole his identity. He's suing for his tax refund. Defendant Jehoadan Wilson says she did nothing wrong and owes no money.
Are you saying that the funds, there are two bank accounts listed? She said one is hers, one is yours. Did you ever receive, is this your bank account listed on this 2010 return?
No, Your Honor, that's not my bank account.
Have you seen the 2010 return?
No, not other than what I gave you.
How much did you have transferred into your
Your Honor,
account?
that's what I'm trying to explain, Your Honor. There was no money transferred to my account. Initially, there was in 2013. Initially, there was supposed to be, but he got audited. The IRS stopped the transfer. No money was transferred. The IRS stopped it because he got audited. They submitted documentation to him via his address saying that we're not going to release any money. That's the documentation I provided to you. We're not going to release any money until you provide us more additional information.
Well, where did this $2,500 payment you say in your answer, where did that come from?
In what year, Your Honor?
Did you file more than one tax return on his behalf?
Yes, we had a working relationship.
What year do you say you filed taxes on his behalf?
I filed his 2009 tax return. I filed his 2010 tax return.
After 2010, what year?
2011 was the final tax return.
Do you have a copy of that return?
Yes, I do have a copy, Your Honor.
When did you charge him $2,500 for?
In 2012.
2012.
Yes.
And where did that money come from?
It came from his tax return, Your Honor. My fees were deposited from his tax return into my business account.
You say you prepared this return?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why does it say it's self-prepared?
Because, Your Honor, when I first started my business, I was using a basic software, so it was no pre-filled PDF. Pre-filled PDF is basically when you could type in your information.
Why does it say this return is self-prepared, ma'am?
Because of the software was very basic. I was cheap at the time. I was just starting out.
Why does this say, instead of your name, why did you type in self-prepared instead of your name?
Because the software wouldn't allow me to.
Because of a software glitch?
No, it wasn't a glitch. It was just a cheap software.
It didn't allow you to put your name as a preparer.
No.
It only allowed you to put that a return is self-prepared?
Yeah, it was very basic.
This is the whole ongoing scheme, Your Honor. This is the whole ongoing.
Yeah, and they're playing basic softwares out. It's not a professional software.
You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
unbelievable. Yeah. I told you, Your Honor.
You have got to be kidding me. You said in 2012 he received his 2010 tax refund, which was over $4,000.
No, I did not say that.
Yeah, you're saying that now because it's not really joshing with your story that you're telling in court right now, right?
Right.
That's the first honest thing you've said in court today.
Oh, thank you.
You said you withdrew his refund in cash minus your fee of $2,500 for his 2010 refund. So I have
2011. That's the 2011.
So this is another typo? This is another
It's supposed to be 2011.
editing glitch?
Yeah.
You cannot possibly expect me to take you seriously as a tax preparer, not knowing the law and commingling funds. And I don't think you're just ignorant of the law. I think that you're just unethical.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
There are several issues here. First, you've told me so many different stories. I'm not exactly sure what happened to all of the money in this refund, but clearly you got some money from this, and you did it in an inappropriate way. You still haven't explained to me why he was charged $2,500 for you to do his tax refund, which is an outrageous amount of money to charge someone for doing their refund. You filing these returns, and you have it as self-prepared, and you sign these returns under penalty of perjury, and you're perjuring yourself to the federal government.
I didn't sign the tax return, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the IRS and the FBI ran into their houses and took their hard drives.
Are you being investigated by the IRS, or have you been?
Your Honor, I was questioned only because of some things that happened in the business, but I was not involved in all of the things. I had employees and all that other stuff, so I'm a business.
You have to take this up with the IRS. What you have to do is you have to then go and file your own paper return with the IRS, let them know that, and you have been in contact with them.
I have.
They alerted you.
And they told me in order for me to get my refund back, to take it to civil court and ask for restitution.
If she inappropriately received funds from the federal government, the federal government has to get that money from her and then reallocate it to you.
Well, they had frozen her accounts. They froze her accounts.
Have your accounts been frozen?
No, Your Honor.
It's really impossible for me to determine exactly what has happened here. I don't have 4 weeks to spend on this case because there's absolutely a lot going on here. But what I do see for sure is that the defendant concedes that she took $2,500 from you and charged you.
No.
You cannot speak again. I don't want to hear your voice again in this courtroom. In her papers, she testified in her answer that she received a refund on your behalf and had that deposited into her business account, which was completely inappropriate. And she said that she kept $2,500 of that money and gave the rest to you. She probably didn't give the rest to you, but I'm just saying what she said in her papers. What I'm going to do here today is what I can in my jurisdiction, which is order her to pay you, to refund you that $2,500. The rest of your issues, you really have to go back and take that up with the federal government.
I'm sorry,
Judgment
I'm
in
gonna
this
have to
case
walk out.
for the plaintiff. Trust me, no one's happier to hear that than me. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,500.
Today on Judge Faith, an uncle steps up and supports his nephew during a difficult divorce.
We've married 28 years, and I found out about it February 14th, and it just destroyed me.
He didn't know what to do, first of all.
So he got the lawyer, and you paid for half of it, and you paid for the other half of the $4,000 fee?
No, I'm still paying on that.
Why do you think you don't owe for that money?
And later, a hookup on expensive designer boots turns out to be a ripoff.
So you say you never got the boots?
I never went and picked them up.
He told me he had them like 4 times.
Did you tell her that?
I don't recall.
Stop. We're not gonna do this, I don't recall, because you do recall.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Joe Wheeler says to help his nephew through a bitter divorce, he loaned him money and a truck. He's suing for an unpaid loan and a truck transmission. Defendant John Weiss says his uncle was a guardian angel when he needed one most, but the money was a gift that he never intended to pay back.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Wheeler versus Weiss.
Thank you, Juan. Joe Wheeler?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, John Weiss?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $4,139. You say he owes you for unpaid loans and truck transmission repair costs?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll start from the beginning. Why don't you give me some background on you and the defendant? I understand he's your nephew?
He's my nephew. Unfortunately, we've lost contact about 20 years ago. The only time I saw him was 2 years ago at my brother's funeral, and he had his daughter with him.
So how did the two of you reconnect?
I'd heard that his wife had served him divorce papers. which is ironic because she always worried about him, and then she's the one that has the affair and flaunts it in his face and in front of the kids and everything else. It's a very, very tragic story. I'd heard that he was having problems, and I could understand. He was married 28 years or something like that. My heart went out to him. Again, he's my nephew, I love him. I asked other family members if I could talk to him or if they could get him to call me. He called, we talked, and we, really got together about every day. We'd read the Bible, we'd pray, we'd read different articles about getting your act back together, because he wasn't gonna fight the case at all. But then he got representation.
He got a lawyer.
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you tell me, so what was going on with you? Your wife had an affair that you found out about?
Yes, we was married 28 years, and I found out about it February 14th, and it just destroyed me.
It was Valentine's Day?
Yes.
How did you find out?
Through a note. I accidentally found one of her letters, and she was the love of my life, and at that time, I honestly didn't care about anything. I didn't care if I made it, lived, died, or whatever. I didn't, because I was so distraught by it.
And how many children did you have with her?
Two beautiful kids.
But your uncle came in to help you,
He
right?
sure did. He was my guardian angel. If it wasn't for him, like I just told you, I wouldn't have cared.
And the two of you lived in the same city all this time in Cincinnati and had not been in touch in many years?
Sure. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And so what happens? You get in touch with Mr. Weiss, and you said that the two of you started spending a lot of time together. You
Yes.
wanted to help him through this difficult time.
Yes, Your Honor.
When did the financial part come into play?
It came up that he found a nice divorce lawyer, well represented in the Cincinnati area, and they wanted to do it for $4,000. He was dead broke because, he hasn't worked a lot because his wife didn't want him to work outside the home.
And so you say loaned him $2,000. I want you to tell me about the conversation you had with your uncle about the $2,000 that he gave you for the divorce lawyer.
It just, we're just saying that I need $2,000 to get a lawyer to get it going. And my uncle says, we're family, that he can help out. I just said, God bless and thank you, and that was about it.
So he according to you, he never mentioned anything about this being a loan or you paying him back?
That's not true, Your
What do you
Honor.
say you said?
It was very clear in the arrangement with his wife before the divorce was to get the 2 burial plots that they bought as a couple. And she in turn got like 80% of the house appliances and furniture and some Disneyland tickets. And that was the deal. When the divorce came through in that November, he said, I will pay you back.
Did you say that to him?
From that.
I do not recall that, Your Honor. No, I don't.
You don't recall saying it, so you could have said it?
No, I don't think I did say that.
It's not true. I mean, that's the sad part is it was dated in our minds of when he got divorced in November.
Because you didn't put this in writing?
No.
Okay.
He's my nephew. I didn't think I needed to put anything in writing. He didn't know what to do, first of all.
So he got the lawyer, and you paid for half of it, and you paid for the other half of the $4,000 fee?
No, I'm still paying on that.
But what happened in the divorce? So you do work, right?
Well, I'm 5'5" for disability. I have health problems.
How do you support yourself and your children?
Well, right now, I'm getting $500 support from my ex-wife.
Alimony?
Alimony, and I get in the range of $275 to $300 child support.
Okay, and what other income do you have?
That's it.
Coming up, Judge Faith helps heal the hurt.
I mean, this is your uncle, right? And you have not had a relationship with him for 20 years.
Sure.
And he gives you $2,000.
I thought we were family, and it was a gift.
You say this is a gift. You say this is a loan, so I have to make a judgment call.
And later, did the exes do an illegal deal?
She gives me $1,000, I take it, and I went to him, and he was like, I can't get anything right now.
Did you get the boots?
I didn't.
And where's the money?
He hasn't.
Where's he?
Plaintiff Joe Wheeler says he always expected the money back. He's suing for an unpaid loan and a truck transmission. Defendant John Weiss says the money was a gift.
Was he working at the time?
Not while I've known him.
Okay, and how did you expect him to pay you back if he wasn't working and he didn't have any income or any money at the time? You thought he'd get money in a divorce settlement?
Well, that's what I tried to explain earlier, Your Honor, is he was getting the burial plots, and he did not want to be buried next to his in-laws, so he was going to get them, sell them, and pay me back.
Did you sell the burial plots?
No, I have not.
But you still have the ability to sell them?
Yes, I do.
You're also suing for $1,700 for the replacement on a transmission on a truck?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
What happened in this case was he had to sell his car to pay rent, which I didn't know about, but then I found out about it. And he said he needs some transportation, and I had my truck there. I didn't need it in the wintertime because I do asphalt work. I made 2 stipulations. I told him, have gas in it when I get it back, and you have to check the fluids because the transmission and the oil leaks.
But you loaned it to him for 2 months, and what do you say happened during that 2-month time period?
He didn't put fluid in it.
And as a result, he needs a brand new transmission?
I had to get a replacement transmission.
The transmission was fine. It was driving.
He only had it for 2 months.
It was shifting. So I didn't think, I'm no mechanic.
So you don't feel that you owe this is your uncle, right? And you have not had a relationship with him for 20 years.
True.
He comes in the picture in your time of need, and he gives you $2,000 for your divorce lawyer fees, for something very specific. Why do you think you don't owe for that money?
I thought we were family, and it was a gift. That's how I felt.
He knows my situation. I'm on disability myself. And he knows that I don't have $2,000 just to be nilly-nilly with it with other people.
May I see proof that you paid $1,789 to fix the transmission on this truck?
Yes, ma'am.
And the truck is only worth, what's the Blue Book value of the truck?
I got that also, Your Honor. But Your Honor, if
why would you pay $1,789 to fix? The truck is worth, in good condition, $2,414. Why would you pay $1,798 to get the transmission fixed?
Because I would have to replace it with a $10,000 or $20,000 vehicle.
This is a case where there's nothing in writing between the two of you. You say this is a gift, you say this is a loan, so I have to make a judgment call. I'm gonna make a judgment call in this case based on the fact that this was someone you had been estranged from for 20 years. He didn't know you that well, but you were in a time of need. I think it was a loan, and I think he expected to be repaid. He doesn't make a lot of money. He's on disability, and I believe him when he said he could not afford to give you $2,000, but he came in, he wanted to help you out, and he was there for you. He did more than give you money. He was actually physically there for you, as he said, and as he wrote in his papers. He sat with you, he prayed with you, he helped you through a very emotionally difficult time.
Yeah, I love him, and I hate that this has come this far in this way.
I love you, Uncle Joe.
I love you too, buddy.
I love both of you. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order you to pay back the $2,000 for the divorce lawyer fees and the $180 for the case filing fee. In addition, now that I've reviewed what you've submitted in terms of the work order that was submitted in evidence to me, it actually states that the transmission needed fluid, and that was a factor in the fact that this was a very old car, it had over 100,000 miles on it, but there was an issue with the fluid, and you testified today in court that you did not put fluid in the transmission for 2 months. So, to be fair, I think you should pay for half. And he actually had this transmission replaced right after you returned the car to his possession. So, to be fair, I think that you should pay for half of the transmission. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $3,080, and I wish the best of luck to both of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Plaintiff Solali Martinez says she gave money to her ex-boyfriend because he had a hookup on buying designer boots. She's suing for a refund. Defendant Eric McGloin says he doesn't owe anything because he tried to deliver on his promise, but his hookup took off with his ex-girlfriend's money.
Solali Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were suing the defendant Eric McGloin?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $1,400 for the cost of Gucci boots he was supposed to purchase for you from a high-end department store?
That is correct.
Okay, so why don't we start from the very beginning and you tell me what's going on?
Okay, so I've known Eric for roughly about 8 years now. We met when we were in high school. He contacted me through text message, and he asked me if I was interested in purchasing something from a department store for a discounted price.
Okay, and what was going on?
I had done it for her before. Like, she had already asked me to do it one time before.
Asked you to do what?
To purchase something for her from the high-end retail store.
Did you
for
work
the
at the
discount. No, I have a friend who works at the store.
So you have a friend who works at a department store, and tell me exactly how this was supposed to work.
He gets me a discount. I give him the money, and he'll bring me back the merchandise, but he'll do it at a discounted price. And
he uses his employee discount to buy things for you.
And I was just the middleman, handing the money from one person and the merchandise to the other person.
How often were you doing this with your friend?
Not often. I did it for one time, and everything was smooth. Like, it went perfectly fine. And then she asked me to do it again. She wanted boots and
what kind of boots?
Gucci boots.
Okay.
They're like horseback riding boots or something like that. I'm not sure. And
Gucci riding boots.
Yes.
That's what you wanted.
Yes.
Okay. And did you contact her when she asked about the boots? Did you contact her initially?
That one.
He was actually dating one of my friends, really. That was the situation. And he contacted me via text message.
That's not it.
And asked me if I was interested in getting things again from this department store. And of course, I was like, you know what, that's a good idea. I usually do most of my shopping around Black Friday, and it was almost Christmas. So I agreed to it, and I ended up giving him $1,000. And I was like, okay, you know what, it's okay. Like, I trust you. Like, I mean, I know him. I don't think he's gonna run off with my money.
So she gives me $1,000. I take it, and I went to him. And he was like, I can't get anything right now. Like, I'm not trying to get in trouble or anything. Like, I got too much stuff.
Because it's against company policy for him to use his employee discount to purchase items for someone else under the table. But go ahead.
Yes. He told me that he was going to order them, and when they got there, he would get them, but at the time, he couldn't do it.
Did you give him the $1,000?
I gave him all the money.
So you gave him $1,000?
Yes.
And he told you he can't get the boots at that time because he didn't want to get in trouble.
He gave me a date when he could get them, and I gave it to her.
You gave the date to her?
I told her when she was going to receive them.
Did you get the boots?
I didn't.
Okay, so, and where's the money?
He has it.
Where's he?
Coming up, the devil is in the details.
So you say you never got the boots?
I never went and picked them up.
He told me he had them like 4 times.
Did you tell her that?
I don't recall.
Stop. We're not gonna do this I don't recall, because you do recall.
Plaintiff Solali Martinez says her ex-boyfriend lost the money she gave him for expensive designer boots. She's suing for a refund. Defendant Eric McGloin says he owes nothing because his designer boot hookup took off with the money.
You know where he works? Did you go back to where he worked?
I asked, he disappeared. So
he didn't work there anymore?
I don't know, I didn't visit him there.
So you never went back to where he worked to look for him after you say he disappeared with $1,000?
I contacted him, I called him, I texted him, I tried to get in contact with him. I blew his phone up just like she was blowing mine up. Whenever she called me, I call him, because it was the same thing.
So how do you know he disappeared?
Because he didn't pick up his phone.
Okay, that doesn't mean he disappeared. You know where he works. You know where he works.
He had told me he had ordered the boots. He said he had them. He was going to pick them up. So he lagged out that giving them to me in a 3-week time period. So I just figured, well, if you still haven't went and picked them up, what if I give you more money and you can get me something else as well? So
you gave him another $1,000 for what?
Just to get me something else, like a clutch or something. I just figured I'd make the most out of my money if he was going to be doing that.
I didn't know like an exact item. I was just going to get her a gift card. She could go buy whatever she wanted.
But you were aware of this because you wrote he was going to get a gift card.
So that's why there wasn't a specific item. I was like, I can pick out whatever I want.
What's the hookup with the gift card?
Honestly, it wasn't a gift card. It's a exchange card. Like, you exchange something and then. But you give him a certain amount of money, and he exchanges something that costs more. And
what does it sound like to you, Juan?
Sounds like that's why he don't work there no more.
Yeah, this is why if he got caught and he didn't tell me he got caught, like, that's what happened. But I don't know because I haven't talked to him since then. He's been dipping and dodging me. Like, even my friends that know him, they haven't seen him. Like.
So you say you never got the boots?
He told me he got the boots, and I texted her. I was like,
well, you said you never got them.
I never went and picked them up.
He told me he had them like 4 times.
Did you tell her that?
I don't recall.
Stop. We're not going to do this I don't recall, because you do recall. So you gave him $2,000 in cash, but you're only suing for $1,400. Did he pay you some of the money?
He did. He paid me $600 back, and this was in November around Thanksgiving.
Okay, so he gave you $600. Why did you give her $600 and not anything else?
Because dude disappeared and I felt bad. I know her. It's not like I don't know her. Like I used to date her. Like I'm not just a cold-hearted person.
Why don't you think you owe the money?
Because I didn't take. Somebody else ran off with it. If somebody else ran off with it. I'm not.
And this is just a part of the game when it happens?
Yeah, I mean, you got to charge it to the game. That's just something that happens. Like, I mean, she knew the risk. She knew you got to be responsible for that.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm looking at this case, the first $1,000 and the second $1,000 in different respects. The first $1,000, I don't think you thought you were doing anything wrong when you gave him $1,000 for the Gucci boots, especially if now we know they cost about $1,100. What really concerns me is the second $1,000 you gave him for the gift card, because at this point, this is just fraud. If you give someone $1,000 for a gift card, you should only expect to get a $1,000 gift card. So your friend, if he exists, is committing theft at that point, and the two of you are aiding and abetting in that theft, and you're receiving stolen merchandise if you take a gift card that you only paid $1,000 for, but it's worth more. You know, what the two of you are really doing is engaging in fraud against this company at that point, especially with the gift card. So here's what I think is fair. On the second $1,000, I'm not going to order him to pay you that money back, because it was an illegal transaction from the very beginning. The first $1,000, I don't think you were aware that it was wrong for you to try to get this hookup. So the $600 that he already paid you, I'm going to apply that to the $1,000 I find he owes you in this case, and that leaves a remaining balance of $400 he owes you. The second $1,000, you're just going to have to take that as an expensive lesson to learn in this situation. So judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $400.
Eric should have paid me the full amount because he did sign a contract saying he would refund me.
If you're doing something that has no guarantee, you just got to charge it to the game at the end of the day if it doesn't work out.
Today on Judge Faith, a kickback party gets out of control, causing these friends to come to court.
When she threw the water, she missed. It got on the floor, but it got on my laptop. So.
Was it a lot of water?
Yeah.
She went in her room and she plugged it up. Everybody knows if you get water on something, electronic, you do not plug it up.
Your issue is she didn't take the necessary steps to try to fix the laptop once it was wet.
And later, a torrid Tinder affair leads to a dispute over a loan between lovers.
When you're dating, you're not with them. I'm open, I'm single.
After so many red flags, I wake up and I'm just like, let me Google him. And that's what I did.
One day, you're gonna cross the wrong woman, and she's gonna look at you and tell you, like Celie from The Color Purple, everything you done to me already been done to you. Life will let you get away with some things for a time period, but eventually it all comes back around.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Amber Lee says her roommate was flirting with a guy when she threw the water that ruined her computer. She's suing for the cost to repair her laptop. She's accompanied by Raisa Tabika. Defendant Mecca Johnson says she doesn't owe anything because her roommate told her to throw the water that destroyed the laptop.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Lee versus Johnson.
Thank you, Juan. Amber Lee?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing Mecca Johnson?
Yes.
For $895, the cost of a laptop you say she destroyed?
Yes.
You have a witness with you today?
Yes.
And you are Raisa, is it Tabika?
Takiba.
Okay. Tell me what's going on here. How do you know the defendant?
We all go to school together. We are roommates, so.
What school do you go to?
North Carolina A&T, State University. Me and my 3 roommates, we were all moved in before Ms. Johnson moved in.
Are you a roommate as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. When she moved in, everything was fine. We were all cool. We were friends for a while, up until March 24th. Then that day changed.
Tell me about what happened in March with the laptop.
On March 24th, I was in the living room. I was working on a school assignment in the living room. My laptop was plugged in.
What kind of laptop?
It is a MacBook Pro. I was in the living room working on an assignment. I got up and went to our 4th roommate's room because we was taking a class together. I went in her room to ask her a question. Ms. Johnson and one of our friends walked in and they were flirting very hard that week, and they were playing around a lot. She threw water on him, but she missed. At this point,
how did she throw water? She have a cup or?
It was a bottle of water. I guess the top was off. I didn't know the top was off at the time. When she threw the water, she missed. It got on the floor. When it first happened, I was like, yo, chill, like you're actually throwing it. I thought she was just gonna fake it. She threw it again. And this time, she missed again, but it got on my laptop. So.
Was it a lot of water?
Yeah. I'm upset at this point. I'm yelling, I'm screaming, I'm saying everything under the sun. Me and Mecca, we both took the laptop and we rushed it over to the kitchen, and we were taking paper towels, everything we can to try to save it. We're both pressing the power button to try to get it turned back on. And
where was the laptop when she threw the water?
It was on the couch. It was charging.
And was your laptop completely damaged? You can't get it to work again after that?
No.
Okay. And it was working before that?
Yes.
What happened?
So we were all playing outside, and she was downstairs doing something. We all came back in the house because he had said something to me that was really inappropriate. I was like, oh,
Who is we?
All of us. She was outside, Amber was outside.
Okay. So then you walk back in the house, all of you at the same time?
No, it was individually, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take this bottle of water and I'm gonna throw it on you. So I had chugged the first time and I did miss.
So you took a bottle of water and you threw it on this guy friend?
Yes.
Okay.
So after I did that, she was like, oh, you missed, oh, you missed. I said, okay, I'm gonna do it again. And then I did it again, and her laptop was sitting on the couch open, and that's how it got wet.
You did throw water and it hit her laptop?
Yes, and from that point,
So why do you think you're not responsible?
Because when I gave her the computer, like she said when we rushed it to the kitchen to take it out, the computer turned on. I gave it to her, dried it out, and I turned it off. I said, do not turn back on the computer. Do not plug it up. She went in her room and she plugged it up. Everybody knows if you get water on something electronic, you do not plug it up.
Your issue is she didn't take the necessary steps to try to fix the laptop once it was wet.
Yeah, because when I gave it back to her, it was working. It turned on.
Is that true?
I gave it to her.
No.
What part of that isn't true?
It was making weird noises, the screen was flashing, different things.
And when did she first tell you that, hey, my laptop isn't working?
About 5 minutes after we put it in the room, after she took it in the room, I told her not to.
5 minutes later. So 5 minutes later, she tells you her laptop isn't working.
Yeah.
So we know that it's probably the result of it getting wet, right?
After she plugged it up.
Did you put it in rice? Some people put those. I put my phone in rice when it got wet.
After the incident happened, when she said I took it in my room, I was on my phone Googling how to save a MacBook computer, and it told me to turn it upside down on the towel to let it drain out. I went to Walmart and I got 3 bags of rice, came back, dumped it all in the bucket, and I put my laptop in it overnight. So
when was the first time you plugged it in?
When was the first time? After we took it from the kitchen.
Coming up, a line is drawn, and one of these roommates is on the wrong side of the law.
The only reason why you threw water is because she told you to?
No, the first time I did it on my own will.
Do you do everything that she tells you to do?
Oh, no, absolutely
because
not.
she told you to pay for her laptop, but you didn't do that.
No, because...
And later, somebody should have swiped left instead of right.
I came across some really unfortunate Yelp reviews of women that he had done the same thing prior to.
She knows because they became friends.
You want me now to fix all of this?
Plaintiff Amber Lee says her roommate ruined her computer. She's suing for the cost to repair her laptop. Defendant Mecca Johnson says she doesn't owe anything because her roommate encouraged her to throw the water that destroyed the laptop.
Okay, all right, what do you have to add?
She said she didn't know her computer was messed up until after. That's not true because they were in the kitchen. I was in the living room, and I heard her saying, my computer isn't working. You're gonna pay me money. You're gonna fix my computer. She never said her computer was working, so I don't know where she's getting that from, but that wasn't it.
And you say, but you also said in your statement that you feel that you don't owe because she told you to keep throwing the water?
Yes,
is that true?
That's what I'm saying. The second time when I missed the first time, she was like, oh, you missed it, do it again. So I did it again.
Okay, so you're saying that the only reason why you threw water is because she told you to?
No, the first time I did it on my own will.
Do you do everything that she tells you to do?
Oh, no, absolutely
because
not.
Because she told you to pay for her laptop, but you didn't do that.
No, because...
The reason why I threw the water the second time is because, one, I did not know that her laptop was back there. If she really cared about her property that much, she would not have left it open on a couch. And for you not to have an insurance.
Well, I know you didn't know it was
something-
there. I don't think you did it intentionally.
Yeah,
What's the second issue?
The second thing is for her not to have insurance on something that costs so much is kind of ridiculous. I'm not saying that I don't feel bad about the whole situation, but
So do you have insurance on your laptop?
Yes, my laptop's only $500. I have insurance on it. So for her to keep on egging me on to throw the water, and then when it spills up there and I try to fix it, I even offer her to buy her a new laptop because I wanted her to get her work done.
Oh, so you offered to buy her a new laptop. Tell me about that.
Yes. She said, well, Apple said it's going to take $750 to fix the computer. I said, okay, well, I don't have $750, but I'll buy you another computer. She said,
for how much?
For anything, like not an Apple. I can't afford an Apple, obviously.
How much did you tell her you could afford?
Just a Windows computer. The same computer I got. My computer was like $500.
So you want her to go from a MacBook Pro
she said,
to a Windows computer?
I don't
there's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, what if she wants a MacBook Pro? Like that's her laptop of preference.
I told her I didn't have the money to replace a whole new laptop or give her a MacBook Pro or whatever she wanted, but I would pay for her computer so she can go ahead and get her schoolwork done.
Did she offer you money?
Yeah, she offered me $200 to buy a new laptop, and I should be happy with that. These are the words
I never gave her a price range. I told her I would go. She said, what kind of computer would you like? I said, I'll get you a Windows, something I got, but I cannot afford an Apple.
I was there actually when that happened. She said, I'm gonna get you a $200 or $300 computer and you better be happy with it.
Do you have an estimate for damages to the laptop? What do you have in terms of proof of how much it would cost to get the laptop repaired?
I have an invoice from Apple. I took it to Apple the very next day to get it assessed.
May I see the invoice? I just need to see the invoice. Do you have proof of the value of this laptop?
Yes.
May I see that too? Okay, so you went to the Genius Bar at Apple.
Yes.
And they quoted you $755 for the laptop, and then this laptop, which is a 2012 Apple MacBook Pro, is valued at $789. In all fairness, I think you should get the value of the laptop. $789, judgment for the plaintiff. Good luck, ladies.
Plaintiff Gabriella Carlos says her ex-Tinder lover was going to be her forever boyfriend until she realized he was a cheater and con artist. She's suing for unpaid loans. Defendant Troy Grant says his ex-lover took pleasure in paying his bills, and she only demanded repayment after they broke up.
Gabriella Carlos?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant Troy Grant?
Yes.
For $2,900 for several items you say he owes you for that you incurred during the course of your relationship?
That is correct.
And those things include a golf sponsorship, golf trip, other financial help, and golf rental space?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we start from the very beginning and tell me when and how you met the defendant?
Troy and I met on Tinder, which is like a really popular social dating app. We started talking in December and maybe talked for about 3 or 4 weeks prior to meeting. So we kind of hit it off and we had our first date in January. For me, it was like love at first sight. I was so, excited, and I'm like, God, he's so good looking. And, we just really hit it off. And so from that point forward, our relationship progressed and we were spending a lot of, time together. So I, was in love, and I felt like he was too, and there was no reason for me to doubt if he wasn't with me. He'd be calling me 24/7. So when his initial request was to sponsor his, golf tournament.
So you met in January, and the two of you started dating and spending a lot of time together right away. Would that be accurate, sir?
Yeah, we started getting closer and closer, and eventually started seeing each other more.
Okay, and about how long after the two of you initially met and went on that first date do you say he approached you about playing in the golf tournament and you sponsoring him?
I believe we met January 7th, and I believe he asked me to sponsor him January 12th.
So what happens? He tells you about the golf tournament. Tell me about the conversation.
He never really asked me for money in person. It was always via text. Mm-hmm. And so initially I thought, no,
Well, what did he say to you?
The text was, I have this amazing opportunity. You'll be really excited. I think he even called me to tell me about this amazing phone conversation that he was having that morning about this, tournament that was coming up. And so he broke it down prior to asking me, he needs to find a sponsor, that he would split the winnings 50-50. And I said, cool, are you gonna do it? Like, I didn't think he would ask me to sponsor him, but I do have a business. And so when he approached me, I thought, okay, well, maybe. So I said, let me think about it.
When did he ask you specifically about the money for the golf tournament? What did he say and how much was it?
He asked, hey, would you like to, sponsor me, you know, this would be good for us. And so he said, well, use your logo. And I said, okay, let me think about it. And then I sent him a text and agreed to give him the initial $700 to, it was like an admittance to the tournament. And so, it needed to go into a player's account, which I kind of didn't understand, but I'm not familiar with how golfer tournaments work. And so the money went into his personal account.
And then in addition to that, you found out that he didn't have money for the golf trip, so you gave him an additional $800?
Well, what happened was a few days prior to the golf tournament, he called me and had this elaborate, compelling story, and he was really upset. He had been...
What was the story?
At that time, I had an IRS audit, so I covered my own expenses, which she was just covering the entry fee. Therefore, I couldn't cover my expenses. So then I had asked her, I'm like,
because
hey,
the audit had frozen your account, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
I had no access to funds for a while, like 3 to 4 weeks.
And you had to go on this tournament, but you didn't have
Well, it was
any
already paid.
money?
We already paid for it, yeah.
So you thought the best person to ask was she your girlfriend at the time?
No.
Coming up on Judge Faith, was the cash a loan between lovers or a generous gift from the girlfriend?
We had a full-on 3-week relationship with this woman. She had red flags that were a little more alarming than mine, so she caught on really fast. It took me a little longer.
So you're dating him and he's not with you on Valentine's Day? Isn't that like red flag number 27?
Plaintiff Gabriela Carlo says her ex-lover was taking advantage of her kindness and knew the money wasn't a gift. She's suing for unpaid loans. Defendant Troy Grant says the reason his ex-lover is demanding repayment is because she's angry they broke up.
So then you ask her for another $800, and what do you say? What do you say to her?
It was just the wrong timing and wrong moment for that to happen.
And did she offer, or did you ask?
I brought it up to her, and then since she paid for the entry, she
So you just raised the issue that you were having some financial issues.
Yeah.
Why are you here now saying that he owes you this money?
There was this after the audit, he supposedly went on the tournament and he came back, and because of the audit, he wasn't able to pay me, and I knew that he had personal expenses with his family.
Well, had you discussed at that time that he was going to pay you back?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
But then you go on to give him another $600,
right,
another $500.
So that's what I'm leading towards. So he would tell me at that point that he was going to have his son for the weekend and didn't have any money, and at that point, I was like, oh, my boyfriend, you know, like, let me give him some more money. And I think I would offer to help. I think he asked me 2 or 3 more times, but in some occasions, I'm like, I'll help you, whatever you need. You know, I was offering as well after the fact, because I believe the story of the audit and the tournament and all that. Although
and so when you offered to help, this wasn't an arrangement where when you offered to help, it wasn't a, hey, I'm going to loan you $600 and I need you to pay me back on this date at this time.
I never gave him any money. The money was loaned at all times.
Is that true?
It was offered as help. I told her I would, you know, take care of it, but nothing ever came up until we stopped talking. And then she all of a sudden started pounding me with, you know, court threats and whatever else.
That's not correct, Your Honor. Actually, I did keep trying to ask him, and he's like, well, I can't help it. I'm in the audit. And so I'd be like, okay, and already my intuition was kicking in, like something is not right.
Well, yeah, because you've already given him $700.
Exactly.
He hasn't paid that back. That's red flag. I mean, you meet someone online. I'm aware. Right? And a few weeks later, you give them $700. That's red flag number 1.
Absolutely.
Days later, you give them $800. Red flag number 2. You're saying these are loans. Then you give them $600. Then you give them $500 for child support. How are these not red flags registering with you?
They're all red flags, and I did question him throughout the entire time.
And so what happens? But you keep giving him money, and now you come to court because you want me now to fix all of this. What happens?
Right, after so many red flags, I am aware that something is not right. And I wake up and I'm just like, let me Google him, let me do some more research. And so I typed in his name, golfer, and I came across some really unfortunate Yelp reviews of women that he had done the same thing prior to.
What do you mean by that?
There's a review there that you can read, and it was the initial review that alarmed me. It was the same exact story that had happened to me. This woman wrote the review, and my heart dropped.
Let me see it. Oh, we have it on the flat screen? Okay, let me take a look at it. This guy is a professional scam artist. Do not trust anything he says. He convinces women and men to fund his fake golf tournament entry fees and promises to give you half of the winnings, but never comes through. He does the same thing with his golf lessons. He advertises. He teaches professional golf lessons, but he never shows up. Beware and do not be his next victim. Do you know who wrote that?
Okay, so I'll explain.
Do you know who wrote that?
What's that?
Do you know who wrote that?
It was a girl I previously dated. Actually, while I was dating her.
Did she give you money for a golf tournament?
Yeah, but that's
or
a total
lessons?
other issue. She knows because they became friends.
We're not friends.
What happened? You contacted this Yelp reviewer.
Yes, I did.
And what happened?
She confirmed that I had been scammed. We exchanged phone numbers, and I later found out that he actually met her on January 22nd, which is the day he was supposed to go on his golf tournament that I sponsored.
Which was on my phone. I didn't meet her in person. I have my text with her, too.
They went on a date, and they also went on a date on Valentine's Day while we were together, and he was supposed to be babysitting. So he had a full-on 3-week relationship with this woman. She had red flags that were a little more alarming than mine, so she caught on really fast. Took me a little longer.
So you're dating him and he's not with you on Valentine's Day? Isn't that like red flag number 27?
Yes, it was.
But when you're dating, you're not with them. I'm single.
You need to stop giving money to people you just met online.
Your Honor, we had a great time.
You know, if you didn't have
relationship.
this Yelp review, I'm going to tell you right now, today would not have been a good day for you.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
One day, you're going to cross the wrong woman, and she's going to look at you and tell you like Celie from The Color Purple. You may not know who that is. Everything you done to me already been done to you. Life will let you get away with some things for a time period, but eventually it all comes back around.
I understand that.
It's always going to come back around. For you, it's going to start today. I'm ordering you to pay the plaintiff. She just has proof that you're a scam artist and a con. $2,900 just for